We are live.
Okay, Mr. Hiltner.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this special edition of the Sterling High School Board of Education meeting, a special summer meeting. Let's call this meeting to order. Please stand for a moment of silence on the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mrs. Augustine, want to make the opening statement there?
Sure. Public notice of this meeting pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act has been faxed, emailed by the Board Secretary on May 28, 2020 to the Courier Post and posted on the school's bulletin board. Notice was also faxed and emailed to the Borough Clerks of Pinella, Laurel Springs, Magnolia, Summerdale, and Stratford.
Thank you. Roll call for attendance, please.
Mrs. Berkeley? Here. Mr. Clark?
Here.
Mrs. Miller? Here. Mr. Nicholas? I'm assuming he didn't get back yet. Mrs. Oaksenbrandt? Here. Mr. Radcliffe?
Here.
Mr. Sims?
He's going to write in the comments, he said.
Okay. Got it. Ms. Stout?
Here.
Mr. Hiltner?
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. I would like to take this opportunity to invite the community to engage in this meeting tonight by either calling 856-882-1126 with your comments or concerns. You can also email them to public.comments@sterling.k12.nj.us. One more time, 856-882-1126 or public.comments@sterling.k12.nj.us. Okay, we'll accept visitors' comments on agenda items only at this time. A 5-minute limit, please. 5-minute time limit. Mr. Sheen, you got a stopwatch there?
We got the stopwatch. I'll start the watch.
Thank you.
How about now? No?
Is that Mr. Nicholas?
Mr. Sims, how's that now? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
I had to take out all the software and I had to reload it all back in. So we good?
We are good.
Okay, I'm going back on mute.
Okay. All right, Mr. Hiltner, at the 55-second mark, at this time there are no calls, no emails.
Very good, thank you. All right, would someone please make a motion to approve the minutes from our last meeting?
So moved, Oaksenbrandt.
Thank you.
Second, Stout.
Thank you.
Questions, concerns on the minutes? Hearing none. Roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Berkeley?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Oaksenbrandt?
Yes.
Mr. Radcliffe?
Yes, sorry, I couldn't get off mute. Yes.
Mr. Sims?
Yes.
Ms. Stout?
Yes.
Mr. Hiltner?
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, Mr. Sheehan, I'll turn it back over to you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Hiltner. As we scroll through our attendance tardies and suspensions, I just would like to mention that Mrs. Considine and her husband had a baby girl, nice addition to their family. So congratulations, Mrs. Considine, and hopefully they're getting some sleep over there. So just a few items. As you know, in the summertime, there's a lot of reflection on the school year. There's a lot of planning that goes on to the next school year. So we are working hard to have the facility and a schedule ready for all students in what that may look like. There are a few things. We have the board highlights. We have the faculty professional development report. We had, throughout the school year, we do a number of trainings. So here lists the trainings that the teachers go through and the hours that they register as they receive professional development. Class coverage report is on there. And we also have the Sterling's New Jersey Cusack Interim Review Placement Report. I'll click on that. We went through Cusack approximately a year and a half ago, and they identify some strengths and they identify areas of improvement that are needed throughout the school, and they ask us to remediate some of those measures, one of them being a summertime board meeting. We've been in touch with the county. We made some of the improvements. There's one area that is outstanding, and I've been in touch with the county. We did supply it to them. I'm hoping that it kind of got lost in the shuffle of COVID-19 and school closures. So we're hoping that the one area of curriculum and instruction will be raised. You see here it's at a 58. We're hoping that that'll come up at least 4 points because we did supply them with the required documents. So once we get an update on that, I'll provide that information to you. And we also have to give a public report in one of our meetings in September. That is it, Mr. Hilder.
Thank you. Okay, items requiring board action. Mrs. Miller, would you like to do human resources?
Yes, I'd like to move item 1A through H, please. Second. Oakson Grant.
Thank you.
Questions, comments on those items? Nope. Okay, roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Berkeley?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Oaksenbrandt?
Yes.
Mr. Radcliffe?
Yes.
Mr. Sims?
Yes.
Ms. Stout?
Yes.
Mr. Hildner?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, we have some education committee items here from Mrs. Okerson Brand, please.
Thank you. I'd like to move items 2A through N. Second, Miller.
Thank you.
Questions, comments on any of those? Okay, don't hear any. Roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Berkeley?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Oaksenbrandt?
Yes.
Mr. Radcliffe?
Yes.
Mr. Sims?
Yes.
Ms. Stout?
Yes.
Mr. Hildner?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Okay, Lieutenant Sims, good to have you aboard.
Finally.
Would you like to move the items under operations for us?
Yeah, I'll probably see the screens. I think it says Operation A and B.
Correct.
Second, Miller.
Thank you.
Questions on 3A or B? Hearing none again, roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Berkeley?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Oaksenbrandt?
Yes.
Mr. Radcliffe?
Yes.
Mr. Sims?
Yes.
Ms. Stout?
Yes.
Mr. Hildner?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. I think we have some addenda items as well. Mrs. Miller, Human Resources?
I'd like to move item 1A and 1B, please. Second, Oakson Grant.
Thank you.
Second, Berkeley.
Thank you. Any questions or comments on these items?
So all the summer positions are being utilized. Is that why we're paying, or is that just in case we do have a program?
So, Mr. Sims, we actually met with our band and our choral directors, and they've developed a plan to safely bring their students in and to practice, and much of it will be in an outside setting. So the administration felt comfortable with allowing these programs to get started, and they do kind of overlap into the school year, so they'll be doing their full amount of work.
Okay, yeah, I'm good with that. I just want to know if they're able to get them in.
Any other questions? Roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Berkeley?
Yes.
Mr. Clark? Mr. Clark?
we come back to him?
Yeah. Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Looks like Mr. Nicholas is on.
Yeah, I'm gonna abstain from this vote, but I'll jump in next. Thank you.
Okay. Mrs. Oxenbrandt?
Yes.
Mr. Radcliffe?
Yes.
Mr. Sims?
Yes.
Ms. Stout?
Yes.
Mr. Hiltner?
Yes.
And how about Mr. Clark?
How's it feel, Mr. Clark?
Motion carries.
Okay, good. And it looks like, Mrs. Oxenbrand, we have one more education item here.
Yes, I'd like to table this item pending further discussion amongst the board.
We need a second for,
Yes.
Second, Miller.
Thank you.
thank you. All right, I think that takes us to Mrs. Augustine now.
Well, let's do the roll call to make that official. Mrs. Berkeley?
Yes.
Mr. Clark? Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Nicholas?
Yes.
Mrs. Oxenbrandt?
Yes.
Mr. Radcliffe?
Yes.
Mr. Sims?
Yes.
Ms. Stout?
Yes.
Mr. Hiltner?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Okay, now we go to you, Mrs. Augustine. Looks like you need a motion to approve the bill list.
Yes.
Motion, Miller.
Thank you.
Second, Oxenbrand.
Thank you.
Questions on the bill list? None, okay. Roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Berkeley?
Yes.
Mr. Clark? Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Nicholas?
Yes.
Hold on. Yes, if you just ask me.
Mr. Radcliffe?
Yes.
Mr. Sims?
Yes.
Ms. Stout?
Yes.
Mr. Hiltner?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Mrs. Augustine, did I cut you off too quickly there? Was there an item above the bill list that you wanted to comment?
It was just an informational item, and it was just a reminder that Monday, July 27th, which is this Monday, is the last day to file a nomination petition for the school board election in November. And that was it.
Everyone's well aware who's up for re-election, right?
Yeah, we had, yeah. And that's all handled through the County Board of Elections, and we'll get notice on that once that deadline is hit, and I think they usually will communicate with me or Kristen as far as what's been sent.
If some of the newer people aren't sure if they're up for re-election, just call Joanne. Isn't that right, Joanne?
Me or Kristen.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. We have several more board action items here. We need a motion for it, please.
So moved. That was,
Oxenbrand.
thank you. Yep,
Second, Miller.
thank you.
Questions or concerns on these items? It looks like there's at least 8 or 9 or 10 of them. Let's see here. How many we have here?
Looks like 10.
Like 10 questions or concerns on these items? Okay, roll call vote.
Mrs. Berkeley?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Okay. Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Nicholas?
Yes.
Mrs. Oxenbrandt?
Yes.
Mr. Radcliffe?
Yes.
Mr. Sims?
Yes.
Ms. Stout?
Yes.
Mr. Hiltner?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Committee reports.
We have addendum items.
Oops, I'm sorry. They what's right in front of us there? So more
Yes.
more action items, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we have a motion on those, please.
Motion, Miller.
Thank you.
Second, Berkeley.
Thank you.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Mr. Sheehan, I guess this would be for you, or Mr. Claiborne if you're on board, or Mr. Manlow. I'm assuming we have somebody reliable with Tarko soccer and Sterling Youth football that we can count on to observe the same diligent protocols for their organizations as we are with our organizations regarding COVID-19.
Yes, Mr. Hiltner, what we're going to hold them to are the expectations that the U.S. Soccer and the appropriate football organizations have set forth, and to pay special attention that we're at a high school setting, which we're probably stricter than some of the clubs, but we're going to expect them to abide by all CDC and social distancing and appropriate standards, or they'll lose their ability to use our facilities. We're also going to delay their start. They're looking for an August 1st start. We're going to delay it to September 1st, just for safety reasons, just to see what direction athletics goes into here. So yeah, we think we have good contacts at both organizations, and when they come here, they will know the expectations.
Matt, do we have to amend that vote then, since it says August 1st and August 14th?
This is Alicia. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. So, make a
All
motion.
right, so Alicia, how do we proceed with this?
So, can I ask one other question before we do? As it relates to the football, their
Sure.
use of the field, it also indicates they want to use, I believe it says the snack stand and the restrooms.
Yep.
Understanding why, for obvious reasons, but how are we going to ensure that they keep them clean? I know it seems to be the new trend that at sporting events there are bathrooms closed and porta potties available.
I have the same concern on bathrooms, so my opinion is we either say, sorry, bathrooms are not available, or they have to provide porta potties, because I don't know how you could ensure that we're going to take the proper measures to use those bathrooms.
Right, and if I may add, I believe when they put their use facility in, not all of the guidelines were provided. So I think that they probably put in as a normal use facility, and we'll have to monitor it and limit based upon what is socially acceptable at this point. Which again, bathrooms and concessions probably would not be included at this time.
And that's going to be Mr. Manlow's responsibility. Whose responsibility is going to be to oversee the clubs that the clubs are adhering to guidelines?
We'll make that part of the administration and focus with Mr. Manlove.
Matt, would it be wise to table 3A and B, 3A 1 and 2 until the August meeting to make sure that all the I's are dotted and the T's crossed here?
Well, currently we don't have one in August. We could wait till September 3rd. If we happen to put it one in August, which I'm going to recommend, yeah, I think that would be a good idea, because I think things are going to change, and we want to make sure that we have our ducks in a row before we approve any use of facility.
Well, at the very least, we need to change the dates and add something to, as Jason mentioned, something along the lines of bathrooms.
So I think we can table it, Mr. Hiltner, and we can maybe make it a little bit more descriptive in terms of what our expectations are.
All right, so we need to remake that motion, Mr. Danella?
Yes, so you would amend the motion then to, so at first it would be a motion to table 3A 1 and 2, and then it would be a motion to approve the remaining items.
All right, somebody out there be able to handle that?
I move we table item number 3 and accept the rest of the items. Okay.
We have a second?
Second, Miller.
Thank you.
Any other questions besides 2 items on the table? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Berkeley?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yeah.
Mr. Nicholas?
Yes.
Mrs. Oxenbrandt?
Yes.
Mr. Radcliffe?
Yes.
Mr. Sin?
Yes.
Ms. Stout?
Yes.
Mr. Hiltner?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. That brings us to committee reports. There we go. Mrs. Oxenbrandt, Education.
Yep, we had a meeting today. We discussed about opening for September. That's still a very fluid plan right now, so we're going to wait until we have a little more information and it's firmed up a little bit more before we talk about it more. But it was a very productive meeting, and I think still it's definitely going in the right direction to bring our students safely back.
Thank you. Is that it? Education, the only item we had?
Yeah,
No human resources or, doesn't look like there's any human resources or operations, okay. Visitors' comments one more time, open-ended, 5-minute limit. Again, the phone number to call us if you have any questions on anything tonight would be 856-882-1126, or if you prefer, email publiccomments@sterling.k12.nj.us. Mr. Sheehan's got the stopwatch, right?
Yep, we are counting. Okay, Mr. Hiltner, we're rounding over the 55-second mark, and Mr. Kozaneski's indicated there are no phone calls or emails at this time.
Thank you. Okay, we'll handle old and new business. We'll do it alphabetically again. Mrs. Berkeley, you're up.
I don't really have anything at this time. I'm fine right now, I'm sorry.
Okay. Mr. Clark.
Nothing at this time, thank you.
Okay, Mrs. Miller.
Nothing.
Mr. Nicholas.
Nothing to add, thank you.
Mrs. Ogeson Brand.
just to commend the teachers and staff who've been working so hard this summer to get all the information we need to make informed decisions for our reopening in September. Kudos.
Thank you. Mr. Radcliffe.
I am good, thank you.
Mr. Sims, Lieutenant Sims.
Nothing, thank you.
Ms. Stout.
I have nothing at this time, thank you.
Yeah, I have some sad news to report. I don't know how many people go back to the 70s and 80s, but we had a very, very competent and beloved guidance counselor pass away recently. Her name was Liz Ryday. Some of you may have been students back in those days. Mr. Sheehan, was she around when you were here?
I don't recall the name.
She was a great guidance counselor and a wonderful woman. Just passed away at the ripe old age of 101. I actually saw her about 5 years ago. I saw her at Mass. She drove herself to Mass at 96 and invited us back to her house for drinks later that evening at 96. She was a wonderful woman. And Leslie Caramello's father passed away. Those of you who remember Leslie, she served on our board. Her father just passed away recently as well. That's all I have. And Mrs. Augustine, I'm missing my cheat sheet on executive session here. Can you pull something up for me?
Sure. Mr. Sheehan just did.
There we go.
What number are we working on?
Number 8.
Right. So whereas NJSA 10-4-12 allows for public body to go into closed session to a public session, and whereas the Board of Ed at Sterling High School deemed it necessary to go into closed session to discuss certain matters which are exempted from the public, and whereas the length of the executive session will be estimated to last approximately how long?
A half an hour.
30 minutes, after which the public meeting of the board shall reconvene and proceed with business. Now therefore let it be resolved that the Board of Ed at Sterling High School will go into closed session for the following reasons. Number 8, can you scroll up a little bit? Any pending or anticipated litigation or contract negotiation in which the public body is or may become a party, any matters falling within the attorney-client privilege, the extent of confidentiality is required in order for the attorney to exercise his ethical duties as a lawyer.
That's for the solar project.
Solar project. Thank you.
All right, so I will ask, any members?
Motion to go into.
I'm sorry. Someone please make a motion.
Miller, motion.
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Hey, listen, man, you guys got a lot of great adventures ahead of you when you walk out these doors. So, I just want to wish you guys the best of luck. If this knight from 1993 can become a teacher and a coach for the past 20 years, then there's no doubt you guys can do whatever you want in the future. So, best of luck and go Knights.
Congratulations, class of 2020. Go Knights.
For my niece, Tracy Lee Worthington, is to live your life to the fullest. Always follow your dreams, and no matter what life brings at you, always try to find the good in every day. Congratulations to the class of 2020.
Hey, to the graduating class of 2020, Sterling High School alum Maureen McCann here, class of 1989. You guys made it, congratulations. I wanted to just share with you what I think a knight can be, and I'm actually sporting my Sterling shirt here today. Thank you, Matt Sheehan. I just want you guys to know that, as you embark on this new part of your life, that there might be some things going on in your mind, like, who am I going to be? What am I going to become? What am I going to contribute to the world? And I want you to know that, I want you to think about something, right? Think about the internet, email, Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, Amazon, Uber, Lyft. These were all once ideas in someone's mind. And they had the courage and the gumption and the fortitude to take, and the belief in themselves to take their idea and bring it forth to the world. And think about the incredible, crazy value that these companies and the conveniences they have brought to our lives. And I just want you to know that these ideas, they start inside your mind. And I know that you guys in this class right now, there is some brilliance, and there's brilliant ideas inside those beautiful minds of yours. And I'm here to encourage you to have the courage and take those ideas and make them come to life. Bring the value forth to the world. We're all waiting for it. We love Uber, we love Amazon, we love Snapchat and Facebook and Instagram. Yes, even an old lady like me, I love those things too. So I want to encourage you guys to believe in it, deliver it, bring it, because we are all waiting for it. I am a former W-2 wage earner who then decided that I wanted to create my own idea, my own company, formed it with some business partners, and created a real estate investment company that is valued over at $46 million today, right? I got my education from Sterling High School. There was brilliant teachers and educators there who really care and pour their heart and soul into you. So now it's your turn to pour your heart and soul into your education, into your ideas, into furthering and contributing back to what it is that we need from the younger generation. So bring it, guys. We're looking forward to it. Congratulations, you made it. Go Knights.
A knight can be a textile designer, a freelance artist, a costumer, have a career in sales, become a coach. A knight can be a teacher. I know because as a knight myself, I've done all of those things. And I can honestly say that being a teacher here at the castle is one of my most favorite. I'm so happy that I've been able to get to know many of you and teach about my most favorite subject, art. So class of 2020, good luck to you. We're rooting for you. And as always, go Knights.
To the class of 2020, keep working towards your goals as you guys move forward. You can become anything you want. You can be a teacher like me. You can be an amazing soccer player like me. But at the end of the day, remember, you will always be a knight. Take care, guys. Go Knights.
Hello, I'm Jason Collins, retired NBA player and NBA Cares ambassador. And on behalf of the entire NBA, I want to extend a huge congratulations to the graduating class of Sterling High School. You all have worked extremely hard for this achievement, and I want to congratulate you, your parents, your families, your teachers, your friends, and everyone else who is celebrating this momentous occasion. There is no doubt that the past several months have been extremely difficult. And over that time, I hope that you have reflected over your friendships that you've made, and also what you have learned at Sterling High School. And now it's time to take your friendships and what you've learned and put it to use in the real world. We need your energy, your enthusiasm. And I look at it like it's a challenge. And I remember being back in the NBA, being my rookie year, going up against Shaquille O'Neal. toughest challenge that there is. And it forced me to look myself in the mirror and adapt and change my game so that I can compete against the very best. We all have obstacles in our lives. For me, yes, going up against Shaq is a huge obstacle. For you, it's going to be this new world that we're living in. But I want you to use your life experiences, your connections, your friendships, and that energy, passion, and innovation that you have, and try to create positive change in the world. So, congratulations on this huge achievement, but we're waiting for you in the real world to contribute in a positive way to our society. And that's how we will all become better. So congratulations and good luck.
I'm Jennifer Joyce with Fox 29 News. Go Knights!
Hi, this is Jim Jackson, broadcaster with the Philadelphia Flyers and the Philadelphia Phillies, here to congratulate each and every member of the 2020 graduating class at Sterling High School. A job well done. Good luck in the future as you move on to the next chapter of your lives. Go Knights!
To the 2020 graduates of Sterling High School, it is an honor to be asked to take part in your virtual graduation. I like to keep things simple, but as a wise man once said, simple is hard, so I'll give it my best shot. A boxing legend once said, everybody has a plan until you get punched in the mouth. You've been punched in the mouth. A hockey great once said, I don't go to where the puck is, I go to where the puck is going. And maybe you can kind of do that in this situation. By the way, I've run into my limit of 3 quotes per speech, so let me summarize. You're all being asked to do 3 things: endure, adjust, and innovate. Those are super important terms, especially when it comes to your lives, your careers, your family, and your friends. So think about them again. Endure, adjust, innovate. That's my advice. And also, let's hope that your generation is one that helps us never have to go through one of these pandemics again. Congratulations. Go Knights!
Hi, I'm Merle Reese, voice of the Philadelphia Eagles. I'd like to send out hearty congratulations to all of the graduates, Sterling High School class of 2020. Go Knights!
What's up, guys? This is Scott Kingery from the Phillies. Just want to stop by and give a huge shout out to the Sterling High School class of 2020. Just wanted to say congratulations on graduating. That's a huge accomplishment, something you guys should all be very proud of. I know you guys are probably pretty bummed about, not having a big ceremony or anything, but it's still something that you guys should be extremely proud of, and something that a lot of people are proud of you for, and you guys are just gonna keep moving on and keep doing great things in the future. So I just wanted to say, stay positive about everything during everything that's going on right now. Keep your heads up, and I'm sure you guys will all have a blast next year in college. I'm sure you enjoyed high school, but get ready for college because it gets even better. So congratulations on graduating. Good luck in the future, and go Knights.
Sterling High School, are you with me? No, wait. Let's try that one again. Sterling High School, class of 2020, are you with me? Hey family, Yuki Washington from CBS 3 just stopping by to say go Knights and go do big things. This is your time, your moment, and you have done what it takes to take the next step in the journey of life. Granted, we are going through trying times right now, but I've said it over and over again. Tough times don't last. Tough people do. Tough people who want to make a difference in this world. People who want to stand for change. Change for the better. And that's where all of you come in. You are the future. We all come from different backgrounds, different cultures, different races. I sit here before you right now to say there is only one race, the human race. So go forth from this day forward to achieve your goals while exhibiting love, peace, and equality for all. A knight is defined as a person who served his sovereign or lord as a mounted soldier in armor. All of you have served your school, community, and families to the point it's now time to go forth and conquer. You have been well prepared, and I'm counting on every single one of you. Go Knights! And may God bless you all.
World Be Free with the Philadelphia 76ers basketball team. I would just like to congratulate the class of 2020, and I would like to wish you guys the most success. And to my daughter, Diamond Free, I am so proud of you. I love you.
As the knight knelt down, the king placed his sword on the knight's shoulder. The knight now knew he could be what he wanted to be.
Mommy, what could a knight be?
A knight can be a business owner of their own dog training company.
A knight can be a nurse.
A knight can be a sales manager.
A knight can be a carpenter.
A knight can be a personal trainer.
Teach marketing education to high school students for 35 years.
A knight can be a nurse.
A knight can be a police officer.
A knight can be a singer-songwriter.
A knight can be a teacher, even if that means teaching from home.
A knight can be a police chief.
A knight can be a foreign military sales program analyst.
A knight can be a college football player.
A knight can be an insurance and retirement planner.
A knight can be an assistant director of athletic communications at Princeton University.
A sterling silver knight can be a math PhD student.
A knight can be a professional baseball player too.
A knight can be an ER nurse.
A knight can be an ICU nurse.
A knight can be a digital marketer.
A knight can be an area manager for Amazon.
A knight can be a family advocate and entrepreneur.
A knight can be a teacher and a coach.
A knight can be a car salesman.
A knight can be a vice president of operations.
A knight can be a realtor. A knight could be a goalie.
A knight can be a college professor.
A knight can be a teacher and a coach.
A knight can be a medical sales region manager.
A knight could be a professional pitching coach for the Milwaukee Brewers.
A knight can be a family nurse practitioner.
A knight can be a teacher.
An educator.
A social worker.
A knight can be a college baseball player.
A knight can be a meter reading services coordinator.
A knight can be a retail manager.
A knight can be a television journalist.
A knight can be an analytics implementation engineer for CBS News.
A knight can be a photographer.
A knight can be an accountant or an adjunct professor.
A knight can be a brother and a sister. A knight can be a surgical sales representative.
A knight can be an accountant at PwC.
A knight can be president of a staffing company.
You can be an office admin if you're a knight.
A knight can be an educator.
A knight can be a nurse.
A knight could be a filmmaker.
A knight can become a teacher.
A knight can be a software engineer.
A knight can be a marketing communications associate.
A knight can be a teacher.
A knight can be a physical therapist.
A knight can be a dance teacher.
A knight can be a police officer.
A knight can be a teacher, photographer, and a YouTuber.
A knight can be a counselor.
Mommy, I can't wait to be a knight.
Your time will come, honey. Tonight, we celebrate the Knights of 2020.
Go Knights!
Good evening. On behalf of the Board of Education, administration, faculty, and staff at Sterling High School, I would like to welcome you to the graduation ceremony for the class of 2020. The class of 2020, like many of the 59 previous graduating classes at Sterling, displayed the qualities of a great class. The leadership, academic excellence, and community service will have a lasting impact on our Sterling community. The class of 2020 represented themselves, their families, and their school community in a positive way. They contributed to our Student Government Association, No Place for Hate recognition, and served as mentors in our United Mentoring program. They built relationships, made memories, and had fun doing it. I would like to thank our senior class advisor, Mr. Justin Barringer, junior and senior class advisors, Mr. Marlies and Mr. Manlove, our tech crew, for all their efforts in our graduation preparation. I would be remiss if I didn't mention Sterling staff who have retired or are retiring this school year. Guidance Secretary, Mrs. Sally Leach, Superintendent, Mr. Mark Napoleon, Chemistry Teacher, Ms. Jill Callahan, Business Education Teacher, Ms. Patty Benz, Special Education Teacher, Rosemary Dobbins, and Principal Secretary, Ms. Stephanie Slyhall. These 7 individuals worked a combined 176 years at Sterling High School. Their loyalty, work ethic, and contributions to the Sterling community is much appreciated. Best of luck to them in their retirement. As you may or may not know, I'm a proud graduate of Sterling High School, the class of '87. In 2001-2002, I returned to Sterling as a teacher and a coach. I, like the members of the class of 2020, learned so much in the last 18 years. I would like to share 2 important lessons with you. In 2001, a member of the community who was a Sterling grad mentioned to me that he thought the biggest area that the students had to improve upon was their comportment. I agreed with him and promised him that I would make it a goal to improve. Every time I met with an incoming freshman class, conducted a class meeting, a new teacher orientation, or a faculty meeting, I stressed both to the students and the teachers the importance of a good attitude, respectful communication, sportsmanship, the importance of setting a good example, carrying themselves professionally, and to represent Sterling in a positive fashion. I am proud of the way that our students and staff carry themselves. I believe that we have improved our comportment. At the 2016 graduation ceremony, the class valedictorian in his speech repeated the battle cry, "Let's go." The thing that impressed me about his speech was that he chose to share the spotlight with his classmates. The speech served to motivate the class of 2016 to strive for excellence, face challenges head on. That class was confident that together they could overcome any obstacle that life would throw in their way. So to the class of 2020, carry yourself with dignity and pride. You never know who may be watching you. Smile, be happy. When you see someone without a smile, give them yours. And choose your attitude. Great attitudes are contagious. This will improve the way that people think about you, and more important, will improve the way that you feel about yourself and about those around you. This spring, when these students, this school, and this community were faced with an incredible challenge, the students, their parents, this staff, and this community were called upon to support each other. When asked to help out, they said, "Let's go." Whether it was to adopt a senior or to jump into a parade, they stepped up. They came together. They jumped at the chance to help each other out. Just remember that the comeback is always greater than the setback. I would like to thank Mr. Al Pathman, Sterling High School class of 1963, for his conversation about comportment, and Jack Chicalo, valedictorian from the class of 2016, for his Let's Go themed speech. Please continue to listen, learn, and reflect on what you have done. I would like to close by sharing with you a quilt made by our art teacher, Mrs. Joyce Phillips, Sterling High School, graduation class of 1995. Up close, you will see the 200+ names of our graduates. You may know that they come from many diverse backgrounds, spanning over 20 communities. The individual names each has a story. Collectively, however, it becomes a quilt, useful in its purpose, providing warmth and support. It represents being united and being alone together. To the class of 2020, I leave you with this. Once a king, always a king. Once a castle, always a castle. And once a knight, always a knight. Congratulations once again to the class of 2020 and your parents. Best of luck in your future. And as always, go Knights.
Hello, friends, family, and faculty, and thank you for joining us for the commencement ceremony for Sterling High School's senior class of 2020. My name is Joe Britt Simpson, and I am this year's National Honor Society President. Although I'm sure this is not how we all thought we would be celebrating this monumental occasion, it is still an honor to be a speaker at this year's ceremony. To begin, I want to start by talking about something called the butterfly effect. The butterfly effect is defined as the phenomenon whereby a minute change in a complex system can have large effects elsewhere. Simply put, the butterfly effect states that little changes can make a big difference in the outcomes of life. As a member of one of the only generations of senior classes to not have received the most memorable part of their senior year, I'm sure we all think this is a bit ludicrous. If you feel this way, I would like to talk about a few people. First, I want to talk about a man who lived in Missouri. He was an aspiring cartoonist and was ecstatic when he received a job at a Missouri newspaper at the age of 22. Supervisors at the newspaper made the decision to fire the man for being not creative enough for the job. From there, he decided to open a cartoon business along with his older brother called Laugh-O-Gram. The business soon went bankrupt. After all these failures, you would think the man would want to call it quits, right? Do you know who this man was? The same man who would go on to produce the first full-length animated feature and found a multi-billion-dollar corporation that we all know today. This man was Walt Disney. Next, I want to talk about a woman who wanted more than anything to be a writer. After her mother's death at 25, a messy divorce at 28, and battles with depression, this woman decided to dedicate all of her energy to writing and raising her daughter on her own. She would write everywhere, from cafes to train stations. After completing the manuscript to her first novel, she decided to approach publishers. The woman contacted 12 companies and was met with rejection from each of them. This was an educated woman. She very well could have pursued a different career, but she stuck with her passion. After the 12th rejection, Bloomsbury Publishing decided to take a chance on her. Do you know who this woman was? This was a woman who went from being a jobless single mother living off of unemployment benefits to a woman who sold 8.3 million copies of her 7th book on the day of its release. This woman was J.K. Rowling. Finally, I want to talk about a boy who wanted more than anything to be on the varsity basketball team at his school. His sophomore year, he decided to try out. The day after, the boy walked to the locker room only to find the tryout results without his name on the list. He was absolutely crushed. Do you know who this was? This was the man who would go on to win 6 NBA Finals MVP awards and become one of the most successful NBA players of all time. This man was Michael Jordan. Now, what do all of these people have in common? They all faced adversities. Without these little bumps in the road, these people may not have become the people that they are today. If these people had given up, we wouldn't have Mickey Mouse or Harry Potter or the Nike Jordan brand. Right now, we are placed at the beginning of a new chapter in our lives. Although it may feel like our accomplishments have been diminished due to the circumstances, I'm here to reassure all of you that this makes it even more important. We have been given the opportunity to go into the world coming out of a pandemic and make it better than before. We are part of a rare generation who were born to be innovative and resilient. There is no other generation in the world that can handle this with the same amount of strength that we have. Reflecting back on the butterfly effect, instead of imagining the different outcomes of our lives, take the life that we have, struggles and all, and make it better than you could even imagine. Refuse to accept defeat and strive to accomplish greatness. If you can leave this ceremony with one testament, let it be this. Be the Walt Disneys. Be the J.K. Rowlings. Be the Michael Jordans of the world. Thank you to the Board of Education, Sterling's faculty and administration, family, and friends for giving us the tools to enter this new world with our heads up and our foot forward. Thank you, Sterling High School, and for one last time, go Knights.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Hello all, my name is Sean Jordan and I am the 2020 class president. I want to start off by thanking everyone who has helped me and us to get to this point. Parents, teachers, administration, we wouldn't be here without any of you. I also want to say, as I sit here and read into this camera and you all watch from whatever you're watching on, that I know this is not what we wanted or expected. I don't think anyone could have predicted that this would be happening, but I imagine that everyone else who has had and will have a chance to speak throughout this event will also touch on the unwantedness of said situation, so I'll leave it at that. However, I do have horrible stage fright, and I must say that this does help a little. And also, before I receive any comments or anything during the viewing of this speech, I just want to say that I am very aware of the lack of haircut that I currently possess and would hope that we could all just look past it, because I can imagine that many of us are looking a little rough behind our screens right now. Now, when I first got the email from Mr. Marley's giving us what direction our speech was suggested to head in, and saw that mine was supposed to be a trip down memory lane of our last 4 years, I panicked a little, because for me, and I'm sure many of you, these last 4 years kind of blurred together. But I thought deep and asked around and realized how far we've come. To my classmates watching, I ask you to look back to freshman year. This was one of the most exciting yet weirdest times of high school, where groups were kind of cliquey from middle school, but people were trying to branch out. And basically, our only form of large-scale plans were the football games, which many of us depended on for our only forms of social interaction. I also feel like you can't talk about our freshman year without mentioning the girls' basketball team, finishing with an astounding record of 1 to however many other games they played, which drew crowds because people had to see in person if it was really possible to be down 30-2 at half, or if it was just rumors. And I can testify, it was possible. Freshman year was also the start of our tug-of-war craze when we beat the seniors, and every year after we would get extremely hyped, basically only for that event. Sophomore year, we became less dependent on football games as we were close enough to make plans, and it was also the peak of our school spirit when we beat the juniors with our Spirit Week hallway, only to get washed in Spirit Week the next 2 years by the now juniors. But we don't talk about that because everyone knows that they cheat, and we just had to be the bigger people and turn the blind eye. Junior year, many of us got our licenses and experienced semi-freedom for the first time, not needing a ride from someone's mom to go to every plan. This was also the year that many of us got our first and unknowingly last taste of upperclassmen activities, like prom. That brings us to senior year, which again, as we all know, was not how we expected. But I'll leave it at that. To the others who I'm sure will talk about it. But my main message I came up with during my struggle to dig up concrete memories is to look deeper at said memories, as these last 4 years were some of the most defining years of our lives. We've all grown immensely during this time, not just as friends, but as individuals who are now being thrust into the world with our only defense being what we can take with us from these preliminary years. My dad does this thing where he calls literally everything bad a learning experience, and I'm now recycling that saying that has annoyed me for so long. Use these years as a learning experience. I'm asking you all to look back at high school, remember all of it, the good and the bad, the exciting and the boring, the friends made and lost, and take them all with you. Because these memories and experiences are all that we are equipped with as we now embark on our journey into the real world, the cruelties of which have been rather prominent throughout these last few months, from society-crippling pandemics to the reaction of social injustices which have stood for far too long. We are the young people of the world. We are the next generation. We are the future. The way we react and interact with the world around us from this point on in our lives dictates how those who follow will live. The world is apathetic and life is cold, and it is now on our heads to be the fire that warms it. We must ignite the change that we want to see and mold our surroundings into the world we want to live in, all with only our past experiences to guide us. Although it's still time to celebrate our accomplishments and what we've done, this is what graduation really is: a passing of the torch to the leaders of tomorrow. We are the leaders of tomorrow. Like the graduating classes before us, the class of 2020 will be presenting Sterling High School with a class gift. This year, we will be giving a backlit Sterling S logo to be displayed outside the school.
And on behalf of the Board of Education, we would like to thank you for your generous class gift. Thank you, class of 2020. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I was once told by a wise old colleague that when asked to speak in public, to be always observant of the 3 B's of public speaking: be brief, be informative, and be seated. And that's exactly what I intend to do. On behalf of the Board of Education, faculty, and staff of Sterling High School, I welcome you, the class of 2020, along with your family and friends, to this year's commencement ceremony. My name is Bill Hiltner, the president of your Board of Education. I've been closely involved with the district for almost 42 years now, in a variety of capacities: as a teacher, as a coach, as a guidance counselor, as an athletic director, as administrator, and finally now as a board member. It goes without saying that this event in 2020 is distinctly different from the previous 41 that I have attended. Although we cannot be together tonight, I am excited to congratulate you on your many and varied achievements, too many to go into individually at this time. Suffice it to say that your class has been awarded in what has been estimated to be in the neighborhood of $5 million in college scholarships. $5 million. That figure certainly speaks for itself. Our lives have been upended by a truly historic global pandemic. I am well aware that being forced to graduate virtually at this time without your classmates, your teachers, and your family is extremely difficult. However, please hang in there. We need you to remain strong, smart, and resilient. Your character, your energy, and resolve will get you through these tough times. We will all adapt together to this extraordinary situation. I have no doubt that behind your leadership in your respective fields, we will respond to the many challenges to come. And so again, congratulations and best wishes in all future endeavors. Stay safe and be well as you celebrate this important milestone in your life. And one final time, go Knights.
Good afternoon. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. To start off, I would like to give a big thank you to everyone who has helped the class of 2020 on their road to graduation. Parents, teachers, faculty, family, and friends, you have all helped make high school the best it could be. So thank you. I kind of find it weird that I've been asked to write a speech that has a meaningful message. I mean, I haven't even graduated high school yet. What could I have to say? I could tell you all about the cell or the quadratic formula, but say something insightful? I don't know, you only live once? So instead, I would like to tell you all a story. For most of my life, on the first day of school, my mom would read me this book. It was Chester the raccoon's first ever day of school, and he did not want to go. He wanted to stay home where he could play all day long and be with his mom. But Chester had to go to school. He was too old to play all day. It was time for him to learn. His mom promises at school he will learn so many new things and make so many new friends. But Chester still isn't too keen on the idea. But I would miss you so much, Chester argues. So Chester's mom gave him a gift to make being away from home a little less scary. She kisses Chester on the palm and says, "Chester, whenever you are sad or missing home, put your palm to your cheek and remember, Mommy loves you. Mommy loves you." After reading this story, my mom would kiss my palm and hand me a heart-shaped sticker and send me off to my first day at school. When I was little, I didn't really get it. I couldn't wait to grow up and do new things. I'm not scared like Chester, I would think. But standing here, about to graduate high school, I can't help feel a little bit like him, and I'm sure some of you feel the same way. Life as we know it is changing. We're no longer kids, we're becoming adults. Within a few months, we will be surrounded by different people, in a new environment, some of us away from our families. The 7-hour school day that has been our norm since we were 5 will no longer be our reality. The future is here, and there's no turning back. This makes it easy to cling to the comfort and familiarity of high school, the same way Chester clung to his mom. You might find yourself thinking, if only we could have one more year, get to go to senior prom, have our final spirit week, go on senior trip. But the end is here, we're graduating. And it's scary. The unknown always is. We're allowed to be scared, but don't forget to be excited too. It's okay to be excited for the next chapter of lives, but not completely ready to let go of this one. The future holds so many great things for each of us. There are so many reasons to be excited. And sure, it's not always going to look great. There will be highs and lows, good times and bad times, because life is hard. Me speaking to you through a screen is a testament to that. But we can't let our fear of difficult times outweigh our excitement for what the future has to offer.
We're good, Matt.
Okay, we are good, Mr. Helmer.
All right, so we have returned from executive session. I guess we need a motion for someone to adjourn the meeting.
Yes. Motion, Miller. Thank you. Second, Oates-Grant. Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, everybody. Good job tonight.
Thank you.